What up, everybody? How all is doing? Hope all is well. And if not, we get back on track sooner than later. Second active thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. I'm doing some research because I really want to know what happened to the FBA, you know? So this is a research edition real quick. Because remember, you know, what I'm saying, right? Europe, Asia, Africa, they were developing over there. The Americas, people were developing over here as well at the same time. Now, those people over there did not know about people over here. They started their writing system. They started, recording history and all of that over there. But guess what? We're doing it over here as well. Now, writing and recording our history, I'm not sure, but history will pass down traditionally, orally, just stories from the elders. You understand? Now, I'm critical thinking. I'm researching and critical thinking at the same time, right? But while they were over there, we were tribes, we were families over here. You know, we're one big old country. No, it was like tribes and families spread out throughout all the lands. Now, I'm still trying to get the settings and like the way of life, but you know what I'm saying? Families over here surviving best you can at that time. Maybe it was the hunting thing, maybe it was just the farming thing. You know what I mean? But when you look at history, you got to think back. Well, I'm thinking back before colonization, right? Because colonization is when the government came and set up shop. But you had to like get in before that, right? Fast forward. When the Europeans started traveling, I guess it was the Africans, because I keep seeing stuff come up about Mansa Musa, the richest African in the entire world at one point. And I heard he came over here and settled with the natives and mixed in, and his peoples mixed in and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So that will create aboriginals and natives. Because once they mixed in, now they live here and whatever the case is. Now, so we got the Europeans. You got the English speaking, French speaking, Spanish speaking. They're all different. Just like people over here, because the different tribes, they also have their own languages. Because remember, the America is a large land. From North America to South America, it's pretty big. Look at the globe and then think about, how it is. It's pretty big, and I can imagine spaced out these groups and these families. You have like a bunch here, then nothing to over here, and all of that right throughout the land, north to south, from north all the way down to south. They all speak their own language, developing and living and having their experience at that time, just like we having our experience now at this time, right? Imagine the Africans came and mixed in. Did the Asians come? Probably, because Asians in Jamaica. Asians are in Jamaica. Asians in California, not so much in Connecticut, but they're in Connecticut, but they don't seem as much as these other states, right? And then the Europeans as well. They started moving around. And they started coming too. So now, here goes my critical thinking. Because they said they first set up shop in like the year 1000, 10,000, whatever. But the case is, they came and they were mixing with the natives as well. So I'm assuming that's what happened. The Aborigines were living their lives. The African came in the mix. The Asians too. And then the Europeans as well. Now they started coming over and mixing too. And everybody living their life. And I guess somewhere in the 1600s, but think about how the Americas is broken down. Remember, North America is Canada. Central is is USA. In the South is South America, which is a bunch of countries. But there's all colonized. And that's what we're getting into when I say the story I haven't been told, we really got to look into it, yo. Because I want to fast forward a little bit because those Aboriginal people still exist. And one thing I'm learning about the world is, besides America, everybody else go by features. America got everybody else, right? But besides America, the rest of the world go by features. So I'm starting to say, look at your features and see where you land in history. And if you look like the Olmec, you're Abo. You know what I mean? Round face, big nose. Look at that. If you look like the Olmec, man, it's crazy. But remember, no. And if you look like, it took centuries, hundreds of years, because they were coming and setting up shop for a couple hundred years. When we think of those history, those times, you gotta think ancient Egypt, how they paint the biblical times and the people of the biblical times. Guess what? When they was rocking and rolling, people in the Americas was rocking and rolling too, developing on their own themselves. Because remember how the paper genocide happened. Things had to be already set up. The nations had to be going on. Remember, the Europeans that was coming over and they're coming over and slowly setting up shop and living and setting up their towns as well. And their townships, their little cities. This took place between, and this said Columbus was 1492. America, 1776. The independence, 1492. 1492, call it 1500 to 1776. That's 200 plus years, 250 odd years of coming over, assimilating, mixing in. And I can imagine, remember, the nation is huge, it's big, so not everybody mixed up. Because when they say USA started with the 13 states, the East Coast, what about all that land that to go west? All that land to go west, north, and south. You know what? People were living. Tribes were doing their thing. Groups, nations, families. Tribes probably were families, you know what I mean? And then mixing together, make big tribes and nations and stuff that still exist to this day. Because, with paperwork and all of that, doing reservations and stuff. So there's so much stuff to history. We're going to get into it. I'm going to do some research, and I'm going to bring my research back here, man, and just hold the vibe with y'all peoples. So I'm going to keep it short on this video. But this is, some history to look into. Because that's what happened to the FBA. You know what I mean? Remember, through everything and through it all, there were still some Aboriginal people that never mixed in, and they were just themselves in their own group, their own nation. You know what I mean? And they still exist to this day. And those are the FBAs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Not the natives. Now I understand the difference between the FBAs and the natives. I know it's that. Yeah, man. And I know I'm going to catch you on the next vibration, right? And I got to do some more research because this is hot off the press. This is watching some history videos, giving me some understanding. Now I can paint the picture of what happened. Because while Europe, Asia, Africa, and all of them countries, and the Middle East and all of that was doing their thing, if you look at their history, according to their history, these countries were doing their thing as well. You know what I'm saying? That's the story we got to get into, y'all. And on that note, I'm going to catch you on the next vibration. And if you're an artist, content creator, someone looking for beats for their video, looking for instrumentals, beatstars.com/CLP. You know what I mean? And my profile is CLP Got Beats, y'all. And on that note, peace. I'll catch you on the next vibration, y'all.